Kudos to James Harrison. James Harrison is a no-nonsense linebacker with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he was in the news recently, folks, not for any gridiron heroics, but rather for his parenting skills. Here's the backstory. Harrison enrolled his two sons in a football camp. When the camp concluded, Harrison's sons returned home with a couple of big shiny trophies, yet elation turned to outrage when Harrison learned the trophies weren't awarded for any particular achievement. Rather, they were essentially thanks for coming out awards. Now, here's what Harrison posted on social media. Quote, "My boys received 2 trophies for nothing, participation trophies. While I am very proud of my boys for everything they do and will encourage them until the day I die, these trophies will be given back until they earn a real trophy. I'm sorry I'm not sorry for believing that everything in life should be earned, and I'm not about to raise 2 boys to be men by making them believe that they are entitled to something just because they tried their best, because sometimes your best is not enough, and that should drive you to want to do better, not cry and whine until somebody gives you something to shut up and keep you happy." Brilliant! Yep, the reaction in cyberspace is mixed. While some applauded Harrison for being a realist, many milquetoast social engineers weighed in that he did a big disservice to his son's self-esteem by making the 2 boys return their trophies. But Harrison did do the right thing, folks, by making his boys return those awards. Getting a trophy simply for showing up is an award that is meaningless and worthless. Indeed, I hearken back to yesterdecade when my son Adam was playing in an indoor soccer league run by the Richmond Hill Soccer Club. When the final game of the season came to an end, as usual, no scores were kept, neither team was declared victor or loser, and no updates were made to the standings because, hey, no official standings were kept either. Nevertheless, since it was the last game of the season, all the players lined up at the end and were presented with a trophy, as in every single player in the league, whether that kid's team had gone 25-0 or 0-25. Instead of trophies being engraved with champion, each plaque read Challenge League Indoor Participant. Talk about parody, but I found it bizarre that an organized soccer league employing referees and timekeepers would decline to keep scores and standings. And this isn't a mandate exclusive to the Richmond Hill Soccer Club, it's nationwide. The Canadian Soccer Association advocates that its member associations do not keep scores and standings for any players under 11. According to the CSA, in a non-competitive environment, the mini soccer program is designed to promote and teach the following: basic soccer skills, fair play, fun, good sportsmanship, and teamwork. Now, certainly the 5 major pillars of the CSA soccer program for kids have merit, but the question arises, is the logging of scores and standings and the staging of a championship final contrary to the objectives of the mini soccer program? Is it not possible to hail winners and console losers in a framework that nevertheless stresses skill, fair play, sportsmanship, and all the rest? Well, apparently not, according to the CSA. So what we're left with is a league wherein everyone is treated equally, regardless of the win-loss record. It's akin to a perverse form of sports socialism. Indeed, Joe Baker, a professor in the School of Kinesiology at Toronto's York University, agrees. He says that a no-score, no champions policy is dubious. He says, "I don't buy into the idea that since there's no clear winner or loser, this will lead to better sportsmanship. If everybody is deemed equal, how can the players demonstrate compassion or empathy?" He's right. In fact, Baker says there's compelling research indicating that doling out trophies to all participants actually cheapens the experience because you're not intrinsically motivating them. A trophy should be so much more than recognition that the player, hey, he had a good experience. Baker also worries that not keeping score is actually counterproductive for player development. He notes, "Sport is a great avenue for conflict resolution skills. I think when you make it so that no one ever loses, how can you develop the ability to lose well?" Now, winning and losing is inherent to the game of life itself. Insulating kids from the specter of failure is ultimately a disservice to them. Sooner or later, they will learn, perhaps the hard way, that only those who achieve, i.e. graduate, will be rewarded for their efforts, i.e. land a good job. In the meantime, sports leagues around the world are handing out trophies, pretending these trinkets represent true achievement, when in fact they are really symbols of adults who would lead their children into the world completely unprepared for the realities of sport and life itself. For the Rebel.Media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies.